Hello, and welcome to this live 50th anniversary edition of the Dads of Adventure podcast. Almost live because we have to upload it to YouTube, but coming to you live from Fort Wilderness. There it is. Turn the camera the right way. So we are here to celebrate the 50th anniversary. We checked into our cabin, got our golf cart, which are hard to reserve, so get them early if you plan to have a golf cart here, or you can bring your own. And we are on the wait list for a large golf cart as well. We'll be joined by some others later on, and we're really looking forward to celebrating from Fort Wilderness. It's a great place to be. I didn't realize this when we booked this, but I should have, because I love Fort Wilderness. Fort Wilderness is also 50 years old, so they also have merchandise that is specific to the 50th anniversary of Fort Wilderness. So just went and checked that out at the Meadow Trading Post. There's also the Settlement Trading Post, but they only had tire covers. And one day I've promised that I am going to get a vehicle that needs a tire cover just so I can get a Fort Wilderness tire cover. I even thought about getting an inner tube, but they are a little pricey for just wrapping them around an inner tube and having them around, so not going to do that. I am here at Clementine Beach, which is at the Settlement Trading Post, and where you can find the main eateries. Normally where Hoopy Do Review would be, right behind me, but at Pioneer Hall, but that's not going on right now. Hopefully that will be back soon, since a lot of the shows are returning. That is an awesome show, and I would love to see it, especially for like coming back for Christmas. They have a special Christmas show. And you have P&J Southern Takeout, which is like a quick serve type place. They were offering like special meal deals, like barbecue meal for the family type thing. I don't know if they're still offering that, but that sounded really good. And also Trails Inn buffet. I'm not sure if some of the things are switching back to buffets right now, but if not, it is a all you care to eat family style meal, which they have lots of awesome stuff like fried chicken and barbecue and things like that. So that would be a good all you care to eat situation. And for the 50th, there's a lot going on. We don't know everything that's happening yet. We know that Ratatouille is opening. There's pass holder previews that we got to experience, but we'll be experiencing with some people that haven't done it yet for the first time. We don't know what ceremonies are going on at the 50th. We have a park pass for Magic Kingdom, which was the only park back when everything opened in 1971, but we are not sure exactly what's going to happen there. Right now they're just listing things that happen pretty much every day at the parks. They haven't listed any special ceremonies or anything like that. Today is the day before the 50th, on September 30th, so I am going to go over to Magic Kingdom and try to see if I can get some of that information directly. So I don't know if I'll be successful in that, but I'd love to know when things are, because we may not stay at the park all day on the 50th, but we do have reservations to be there, and I am looking forward to that, regardless of however it works out. Some new things that will also be, they just had, sad to say goodbye to Happily Ever After fireworks show, but they are doing Disney Enchantment. I think I'm getting that right. Might have some small words not in that title, but it's looking really cool. It's going to be castle projections, fireworks, and projections down Main Street. So Disneyland has had shows with projections down Main Street, and Hong Kong Disney has had that, and we've seen shows like that. So I'm really excited about that. Really sad to see Happily Ever After go. I think even in just the last few months, I've really loved Happily Ever After, and it's a show that my kids love. They just love singing it, and there's that moment when the fireworks go up in the first part of the song, it's hard for me to hold back tears. So because there's been a lot, that fireworks show has been around a lot for me and my family being here. So there's a lot of memories with that, and again, my sons love it and sing it, and they'll continue to sing it. But excited to see the new stuff too. Excited to see the new show at Epcot as well, and liked Epcot forever. It was great, but I am ready to see Harmonious. I'm trying not to look at social media because they opened it a couple days early, but we're looking forward to seeing that on the 2nd as well. Again, Ratatouille has opened, and we will see some other things opening in the 18 months of the 50th anniversary, I'm sure. I know that the Tron coaster and the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction have to be nearing some level of completion. I think we'll see the train back. I'm not sure if it will be back tomorrow. We had to hear that the piano player will be back at Casey's Corner in Magic Kingdom, and the original piano player will be there as well. So from that played in 1971 when the park opened. Another cool fact is we're experiencing this with my wife's parents, and they actually came to the first year that Walt Disney World opened. So this is a 50th anniversary there as well. Now they've been in between several times and with us as well, but that's kind of cool to be going with somebody who saw it in the first year and is now going to see it in its 50th year as well. So we're going to make this a multi-part segment here. The bus is coming for Magic Kingdom, the boat for Magic Kingdom is coming, so I can't miss that. But we'll look forward to talking a little bit more about the 50th anniversary here.
Good morning. We are here at Fort Wilderness to finish up our 50th episode here. It is morning. Sun is coming up. It's mostly up already. But we are back on Clementine's Beach and just enjoying the morning. Catch some awesome wildlife and views of the water there. Boats are going to Magic Kingdom. Give you an idea of the time. And just wanted to wrap up what I was talking about for the 50th. So a big part of what I wanted to talk about was just all the things that have happened as a result of getting ready for the 50th. So there's been like a complete overhaul of the road systems for all through the parks and on property. They built like overpasses, underpasses, all of that. The entire Skyliner system has come online in the last 5 years as a result of getting ready for the 50th. Got new buses. They've wrapped the buses, some of them with characters and other things. There's some 50th anniversary buses. The monorails have recently gotten some kind of like underlights to them that make them look really cool at night, as they kind of put different color lights on the monorail beam underneath the monorails as they go by. And that reminds me to talk about the parks and resorts. So a lot of those have gotten upgrades. All of the resorts, we're going to have all the resorts, we're going to have a upgrade before and be touched before the 50th. So I think they've done most of that. I think they're finishing up a little bit of that, but when they've pretty much done all of that for all of the resorts. Contemporary is mostly open now with new rooms, with the incredible rooms. They've gone through and put laminate floors in all of the rooms. Pretty much no carpet anymore, which is good or bad depending on your preference there. I miss some of that because I miss like the old style rooms at the Wilderness Lodge, and they were there temporarily for a while, but they just redid the other side of the house there. They've redone just a number of things, spruced up lobbies, and completely redid the lobby, the Contemporary for the 50th. So the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and Fort Wilderness, where I stand, are celebrating their 50th anniversary as well, because they opened with the parks as the 3 resorts that you could stay at. And again, just enjoying the beautiful view here while I'm recording this. Again, the massive project to overhaul like all the rooms and do all that. The Riviera has come online since then. The Swan Reserve Hotel is almost done, next to the Swan and Dolphin. I'm trying to think if there's other. They had started the Reflections one, which you can see some construction barriers in the background there. If you see woods and it looks like a fence, it is. That's where the Reflections resort was going to go. I think they were already finished with the tower at Coronado Springs. But if they weren't, this is an awesome resort anyway. But they've added a lot of capacity and just functionality to some of those resorts that have been there. So and they're just like completely overhauling the Polynesian. That's almost done there. It just reopened recently and redid like the monorail station and everything. Don't know if that was structural. I haven't been over there to see the new stuff yet, but it is there. You can hear golf carts in the background as they park here to get on the boat to go to Magic Kingdom. So we're looking at this from a couple days after the 50th anniversary. But a few other things that have gone on. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway has opened. Trying to think of some of the other things. The Ratatouille ride just opened. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Yes, I believe. So that just opened in France, in Epcot. We have a number of things. The Tron coaster is going to be opening soon. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride, I'm not sure if that will open in the 18 months, but Tron, I'm pretty sure will open. The train will reopen in the next 18 months. I'm pretty sure of that. And these are all my supposings. I don't have any information from Disney on that. Those are some things they were definitely shooting for the 50th. Some of them did not make it, but other things did. Some of the other things that they have added. Oh, I think Sebastian's Bistro was part of that too. That was added as part of the renovation of Caribbean Beach. They have, thinking of other restaurants, they just added, well, not added, but Steakhouse 71 is at the Contemporary now in place of the Wave of Contemporary Flavors. It's somewhat a loss in my mind, but I haven't tried the Steakhouse because I love the Wave. I love the buffet that they had. They haven't had a buffet for a while. But looking forward to trying Steakhouse 71 and see what it's about. There's lots of different things that they've been doing, again, just to get ready for the 50th. Trying to go through the parks and think of other things that have opened. So Animal Kingdom didn't have anything. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge completely opened as part of that. Toy Story Land, so all half of Hollywood Studios has opened since then. New restaurants, and they revamped the whole area, and kind of added the grand, I'm not giving the right words here, I want to say Grand Central Station, but that's not it. Grand Avenue, there we go, near the Muppets area. So you get the tap house that's there. Also, I think in that time they renovated the area in Yacht Club. So you have Ale and Compass that came online. I'm trying to think back through these years because a lot has happened since then. And then I don't have my stand here, so sorry if the video is a little shaky there, but or the sound, if you can hear it being shaky, and hopefully you can hear the sound. But a lot has happened to get ready for the 50th. So 50th, just some thoughts on that too. So the 50th was a couple days ago, the actual 50th. We were at Magic Kingdom for that. There wasn't like a whole ton going on there. There was a lot of merchandise. There was like day of merchandise, and then leading up to it, there were several collections of merchandise that they came out with. A lot of it very cool stuff, and including the shirt that I'm wearing. This was a pass holder exclusive, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a cool shirt, and asked to buy it. And then they rung me up and it was like, this will be such and such. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit more than what I was expecting. But, with some Disney math and a pass holder discount, that was a little bit more acceptable. And when I went to open it, I realized that it was a Rain Spooner shirt. So Rain Spooner has some stuff that's in the Polynesian, and they are a really nice clothing manufacturer. The manufacturers like Hawaiian shirts and things like that. So this is, if you're looking for something that's like a quality piece of clothing, I definitely recommend this. Wore it all through Epcot yesterday, and it was very comfortable with some of the humidity and stuff. So that was great. We also found that so they had like a queue in the morning for 50th merchandise for that day. That was at the Big Top shop in the back, but that closed at about 8:30, so nobody else was able to get in. And I heard from some people that they did actually run out of stuff. There were people in line at like 4 a.m. scanning in, so we got there probably around actually at the Magic Kingdom probably around like 8:45, so we're just under that wire there. But we did find a lot of that merchandise over at Epcot. Have no idea how long it's going to be there. At the new Creation shop, so the 50th, a lot of Epcot has changed. They just reopened Club Cool and Creation shop, which was Mouse Gear. So the Creation shop is much more open than like what Mouse Gear was. I do miss Mouse Gear because there were kind of like some songs and a soundtrack that they played that was like a cassette tape from my childhood. But the overall experience is much better. It's more open. You can see everything a lot better there. And in Club Cool, I really like some of the design elements that they added to it. They added kind of like the Coke building over in Disney Springs. They added elements from the Coke bottle to the glass of the wall in front of it. So that was really cool. And they have tasting stations, so it's not like on columns, it's on like a wall. So that part limits it a little bit more. Right now you have to wait in a queue to get in. So I did like that part, that people weren't like rushing around and like jumping in. You had like your own station and you could sample that until you were done, and then move on. So it's really cool that they brought that back, like, a free thing. One thing they used to have there is a free slushie on your birthday. So I'll have to see when my birthday comes around next time if that's really the case, or if they brought that back. But just cool little free things that are there, and very refreshing. They have some new flavors, and I think you'll like them. I think there's one, I believe it was I think it was Inca Cola before, but I'm not sure if it's that. I think it's something different now. But it tasted like, if anybody has been in Spaceship Earth and smelled Rome burning, it tasted like Rome burning. I don't know how to describe it any other way, but it was kind of savory, and good. I liked it. And Beverly's back, of course. Beverly's back. And my son, who hadn't tasted that before, was like, "Oh, what's that?" And he really did not enjoy it. So that experience is back as well. So love to see that. The Epcot monorail is back online. You're going to see a lot of construction, so fair warning there. Just the rerouting of everything at Epcot. It has been neat to see some new areas of Epcot, because you can walk through areas that you weren't going through before. So like you can go around the Seas Pavilion. So I like that area that they've opened up. They're still working on like the Moana area, so there's a lot of work left to be done at Epcot, but they've definitely gotten started. And it's they've got a lot of things that they have done and put together. So I'm excited about those things. They opened because of the construction, they opened a new Starbucks area, which many people will appreciate it. And I think it's a little more efficient. That area can get a little bottlenecked, but it's more efficient than what was there, I believe. We just saw the new show Harmonious last night. So they had Epcot Forever for a couple of years after they stopped Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, which was an awesome show. I don't care how old it was or how many times I saw it. I loved it. It was a show, it was like the first fireworks show that my son, I remember, walking in, and, we were there later. So, on our first night of a vacation, and so we got to see them there. Stop for the right there. But it's just very surreal to see Illuminations go. Epcot Forever, I liked that show. I liked all the vintage music and everything that was part of that. But Harmonious is awesome. So there's parts of it that you may not like, but overall it is it has a very Epcot-y feel to it, and just kind of the heart of, like, if you ever have listened to some of the history. I'm gonna turn around and get some other views here. Clementine Beach, maybe besides just the no swimming sign. There we go. So it has a very Epcot-y feel to it. There's so much. I don't want to describe it too much because I don't want to give it away. But yeah, I think most people will like it or grow to like it. That's how I am with fireworks shows. Like, we also watched the new Enchantment show at Magic Kingdom. We didn't get like a good view because there's projections that are all the way down Main Street, and Main Street was completely full when we got there. So it'll be interesting to see it when you actually have those projections, but there's projections on the castle too. I thought there were definitely some high points there in the show. I don't know if it's quite as powerful as Happily Ever After. Still remains to be seen, but when I first saw Happily Ever After, and I wasn't like devoted devoted fan to Wishes. If you were, that's great. I've grown to like it even more afterward. But Happily Ever After was definitely grew to be my show, especially after the reopening of Magic Kingdom. And there were definitely, there's some parts of that I didn't prefer as well. So looking forward to seeing Enchantment a few more times to see some different angles and kind of the full show before making too many judgments on that. But we have a new fireworks show, 2 new fireworks shows. Today we're going to go see the Kite Tails at Animal Kingdom, so that's a new show. In the last 5 years, they did come out with Rivers of Light, and then it went away. So I'll mention that. But one of the things that's there is the stadium, so that they have something they can do with that because they built that stadium. And just trying to think if there's anything else that's open. Oh, there's Epcot opened a new gelato place in Italy that just opened, and there's a new crepe restaurant where Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is. It's nice because it's like a walk-up stand if you want to do that, or it's a sit-down restaurant if you prefer to do that. Nice interior, lots of nice bathrooms in there. Also outside, the bathrooms are really great and very air conditioned. Over in the France area, right outside the main Ratatouille area. That whole area is just themed awesome. The ride is themed awesome. I would say that you're going to get what I got was new ride feel, but kind of like the classic dark ride, kind of set pieces. And I'm not going to say too much more because that might give away the ride. I mean, of course you can watch it on YouTube if you want to give it away too, or see it beforehand. But I like it. And again, there's nice bathrooms. I really like the view over there because you can go over there like near the bathrooms, and you can see like the backside of the other side of the waterway where the friendships sit. And then you can also see kind of the Skyliner coming by above you. So that's really cool. Just trying to think of other things that may have been added anywhere since then. They did add the Hollywood Studios also has the modification of the show, Small Things, in the theater next to like where the Frozen show is. So I like that. It's a fun episode if you like Disney references. It is definitely for you. So I like it in that respect. They reopened. They closed, reopened the I can't remember the original name of it, but the Carpet Wall Show in the Land. They redid that. I want to say Circle of Life, but I don't remember if that is actually the case. It became like a practice area for bands for a little bit, and like shows, like if a marching band was coming in to do a show, or play at Magic Kingdom, or not play at Magic Kingdom, play at Epcot. But now it is Awesome Planet, and it's hosted by Phil Dunphy. So that's kind of I like that theater because it has a lot of special effects. So it's definitely a show you can watch a couple times. That reminds me, they also introduced the new Beauty and the Beast sing-along, where Impressions de France is. They still have Impressions de France, so if you want to see Impressions de France, it is only like in the evening. So like it's for most of the day, it's going to be the Beauty and the Beast sing-along, but Impressions de France is at night. So I still love that show, so I'm glad they kept it. They have a new Canada show. It includes some elements of the other ones. And then Martin Short is no longer in it. That I didn't like that part, because I really liked Martin Short's little comedy routine that was in there. And they changed the show around a little bit, so it's a different show, but it's there. They have also there's a new show that will be coming to China, but they have not new 360 show, but they haven't changed it out yet. They announced that they would. They kind of shut it down to prepare for it, so I don't know if it's just sitting there waiting, but the old show is still there, which I love the old shows, so I'm happy to have it around for a little bit longer. They had announced that they were going to do changes to Spaceship Earth. Those will probably be still coming, I would assume. I assume they just put the plans away, and we'll come back to those. But for now, I'm happy to have classic Spaceship Earth. And speaking of Spaceship Earth, that is one of the big things for the 50th. They have upgraded the lighting package, is what they were calling, on Spaceship Earth. So they've installed all these lights in between I'm going to say this wrong, somebody's going to correct me on it, and please do, but the geodesic triangles, I guess, in between, they have put individual lights, so now they can do this entire light show on Spaceship Earth. It's kind of, when you were looking at like them installing it, it's hard to explain. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube 1,000 places. If you don't want to find it on YouTube, don't look it up, because it is a spectacle to see when you actually are there. But it just adds to the nighttime energy of Epcot. I can just tell that it's like, people were walking around Epcot doing the food and wine thing or whatever. Festival may be there, but this is really added a whole nother level of energy to the park. So that is really cool. Sure, I'm missing some things, but that is all I can think of at the moment. And happy 39th birthday to Epcot. October 1st is also the anniversary for Epcot. So we'll be looking forward to the 40th next year on October 1st. So I'm curious to see what they do for that for Epcot. It's a big anniversary. They did a lot for the 35. They had a lot of merchandise. I got a lot of it on clearance, and some of it. But I love that a lot of the stuff that they put out there. So I'm really curious, because they really stepped it up for like some of the merchandise for the 50th. Just had all sorts of things, more than you can ever buy. I mean, I guess you could buy it all, but now, so I'm looking forward to the 40th of Epcot as well. And that is, they have different drinks and things like that. We had the Mr. Toad burger, and which is like a bratwurst burger, which is interesting. Good, interesting. There's a Mr. Toad peanut butter kind of dome. They love to dome things, and I appreciate it, because it's like a peanut butter and jelly dome. It was delicious. They had a Mr. Toad's, I guess, a wild ride smoothie. So it had like 3 or 4 different flavors in it. It was quite refreshing. There's lots of other food, so I can't go into all that. But that's the food that we had and experienced. So I'm looking forward to trying more. But I think that is pretty much, most important thing. We were here with my wife's parents, and they were here the first year that Walt Disney World opened. So they came back, got their picture, and were able to make it to Magic Kingdom on the 50th this year. So it was a really cool experience to see that, and them being able to come back after 50 years of Walt Disney World. And, they've been several times in between then, of course, but that was kind of a really awesome thing to add to the experience, that, they got to see the whole expanse of that. And I have a coin somewhere because I was here at Walt Disney World on the 20th anniversary, and I'm going to find that. And I want to say a thank you to the Lake Buena Vista Historical Society. I have a 1991 videotape. I have some podcasts where I talk about that, but the video was kind of not one that I could transfer easily because it had some tracking and issues like that. And I couldn't just straight videotape it, so they had some equipment that could do that better. So that should be coming soon. So I'm looking forward to showing some of that to kind of give some history on that as well. But for that, I'll go ahead and wrap things up on the 50th. Thanks for joining me, and looking forward to many more years of Walt Disney World going forward, and all the resorts and the parks and all of Disney. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up by letting you know where to find us here. You can find us on Dad's Adventure on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, mostly on Instagram, and then Clubhouse, Dad's Adventure as well. Join the Dad's Club, figuring out what we're going to do there as far as discussions, but we've had some great discussions already on all things, all different topics of Disney on Clubhouse, so we'll continue to work on that. And you can also find more episodes on dadsadventure.com. So again, thanks for joining us, and for now, go have an adventure with your family.